detriment of the people of Iraq. I think he says it in quite menacing terms, in my view. And he addressed the Iraqi President saying the mutual agreement regarding the expulsion of the monarchiyin, the term used by the regime to describe the PMOI, and hereafter I will refer to the PMOI, the mutual agreement regarding the expulsion of the PMOI from Iraq must be implemented, and we are waiting for it. That was his precise words. And clearly there is enormous now pressure on the residents. They feel beleaguered, surrounded, and for reasons which I and others will amplify during this debate, how under threat they feel. It's against a backdrop, I must say as an aside, of course, of the Iranian regime feeling increasingly wobbly, which I welcome, and that's been reflected in recent provincial elections in Iran. But clearly the leaders, Khamenei and Rafsanjani, are putting up the pressure on the Iraq government, and there's another person whose name we wish to introduce here, that's Mouwaffaq al-Rubaie, who's the Iraqi's National Security Advisor. He does seem, many of his utterances have a similar ring, in my view, to those of Joseph Goebbels. He said that on March the 8th, it is legitimate for Iran to have such a position, that is, demand that we hand them over. We therefore have adopted a clear and precise policy of expelling this terrorist organisation out of Iraq and rapidly returning Ashraf residents to Iran. They're his words, not mine. He goes on, these individuals have been brainwashed, and we must see that we must free them from this poison. This process will be painful, he tells us, in the beginning, but there are no other alternatives than to resort to this painful measure. It has a ring of the early 1940s to me.
One of the most chilling statements in recent history. The people of Ashraf have become brainwashed, and we must act to cleanse them. This will be painful in the beginning, but we have no other alternative. You might think that those words could easily have come from some of the dictators who created such havoc in the 20th century. You might have thought that they couldn't possibly have been uttered in the new century. The truth of the matter is they were uttered only a few short weeks ago by Mr. al-Rubaie, who is the National Security Advisor to the Iraqi government. But others will say that this particular gentleman is on the payroll of the mullahs themselves. Now, I can't give a guarantee that that is the case, but those chilling words suggest it may well be, and we need to take very great heed of people who speak in that way. I would also like it suggested that a man of that kind who makes that chilling statement that I reiterated at the opening of my remarks should never be in a position of advising the Iraqis on national security if we have any influence at all for the many billions of pounds that the West has spent in that country.